top producing real estate agent right here in Central Ohio reached out to me. This is the basic sign they were using. A professional custom key sign can take your business to the next level. So today, I'm challenging myself to make one from scratch, and I'm taking you along for the ride. Many agents rely on basic pre-made signs, which don't stand out. A memorable custom key sign can make your business more recognizable, impress clients, and even become a signature part of your closings. I designed the key in light burn to be 36 inches long and 16 inches high. Most people don't have a laser engraver, so here's a simple alternative. Use a projector to display your design onto a 1/4-inch plywood and adjust the projector until it's the right size. Another easy option is to print your design on multiple sheets of paper, tape them together, and then trace the full outline onto your material. You only need one 2-foot by 4-foot sheet of 1/4-inch sanded plywood. I used my table saw and crosscut sled to clamp it down and trace the outline. When I first started out, one of the very first tools I purchased was a jigsaw. I used it to cut my designs, and it's still one of the best options for beginners. I prefer to clamp my workpiece down, and just remember to keep the good side of the plywood facing down to prevent tear out if you're using a jigsaw cutting right up to the line. I'm cutting outside the lines here as I'm showing multiple ways to cut the key, and we'll finish the job on the bandsaw. If you happen to have a bandsaw, that's another excellent choice since it leaves a cleaner finish and you don't have to worry as much about tear out. Let me know in the comments below which option you prefer. These days, laser engravers are surprisingly affordable, and they don't just save time. They give your projects that clean, professional finish. Whenever I use mine, I always run a material test first because dialing in the right power and speed is critical for the end result. Whether you use a jigsaw, bandsaw, scroll saw, or laser, this project can be completed successfully. I will provide a link in the description below to the laser engraver I'm using in this video. I've used it on countless projects, incorporating it into my builds to take them to the next level. It's really impressive what these machines can do, especially at such an affordable price. Once I had all my pieces cut, I did a quick dry test fit. Since I cut the key by hand, I made the house piece just a little oversized. That way I can come back and trim the bottom portion to round it off and make it fit just right. I've been using this double-sided woodworking tape for years, and honestly, it's been a game changer in my shop. It gives me a quick, reliable way to temporarily hold parts together without using clamps or worry about them shifting. Here I'm using it to secure the house piece to the key. With it taped down, everything stays locked into place, so I can align it perfectly before trimming. Once it's secure, I start by rough cutting it close with the jigsaw. After that, I move straight into sanding with an orbital sander to bring it perfectly flush with the key. Before painting, lightly sand the plywood with 320 grit. For painting, I'm using 3 steps: primer, paint, and then a clear coat. For the primer, I went with a Zinsser Bullseye 123. A good primer is key if you want a professional looking finish. I applied 2 light coats, nothing heavy. The first coat seals the wood, and the second smooths it out and evens the absorption. Make sure to avoid thick coats, as that's what causes drips. Give it about 30 minutes to dry between coats, and after the final coat, I like to lightly sand with 320 grit for an extra smooth surface before moving on. For the paint, I used Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch 2x Ultra Cover in white gloss, along with Rust-Oleum's Metallic Gold. I applied 3 light coats of each color. The first coat is really just to get coverage, the second builds up the opacity, and the third gives you that ultra smooth finish. I allow about 30 minutes of dry time between coats. And while it's optional, I like to lightly sand between coats with 320 grit. Sanding is definitely the boring part, so I won't include more of it here, but it makes a difference. Just be sure to wipe the surface clean afterwards before applying the next coat of paint. I usually use a tack cloth, but a clean microfiber cloth works too. Once the final coat is finished, let it cure for at least 1 to 2 hours before moving on to the clear coat stage. But in this case, I let the final coat cure overnight. After all the coats are applied, the high gloss really makes the keys shine. These steps give you a smooth, professional finish that's rewarding to see. It's time to bring the whole project together, and for that, I'm using 3M spray adhesive. I tested it out on one sign, and it was so strong that when I tried to separate the pieces, it actually damaged both sections of plywood. So once this stuff is on, it's permanent. Before spraying, I highly recommend doing a dry test fit to double check your layout and make sure everything is exactly where you want it. When you're ready, apply the adhesive in light, even passes, just like spray paint. The adhesive sets quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to shift pieces around once they touch. After placing each piece, press it down firmly to lock it in before moving on to the next. This is one of the most satisfying steps because you finally get to see the sign really start to come alive. For the clear coat, I used Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch 2x Ultra Cover and Gloss Clear. And you want to apply 4 light coats using the same process as the paint. Since this is a high traffic sign for a top producing agent, I wanted the extra protection against scratches, UV, and moisture. The first coat seals, the second builds, the third adds gloss, and the fourth locks everything in. To finish it off, I let the clear coat cure for 2 full days so it reached maximum hardness and durability. I can't stress enough the importance of applying light coats. Multiple light layers are always better than a few heavy ones that could ruin your project. On my first attempt, the clear coat bubbled in places and I wasn't happy with how it looked on every section. The natural wood looked better without it, and the gold had a richer, more metallic finish without a top layer of clear coat. After making the changes and taking extra time on the next sign, the results really showed. The final piece turned out exactly as I envisioned, and for a final touch, I added the company logo so it can start being used for closings. From a single sheet of plywood to a professional custom key sign ready for closings. A few tools, careful planning, and patience result in a piece that enhances your branding and makes each transaction memorable. If you've ever used a key sign or made one yourself, I'd love to hear how it went and what you think of this project in the comments below. If you enjoy DIY builds and home repair projects that save time and money, be sure to subscribe for more right here on Inspiring Builds.